Part 2 of the Demon Weaver of Ashanti. For weeks after Abena's hut burned to the ground, an unsettling silence settled over the village. The people whispered about the cursed river, but none dared to speak her name aloud. Yet Prince Kofi knew that something was still wrong. The nightmares had not ended. Each night, he saw the same vision, a dark pit filled with whispering shadows calling his name. One night, unable to bear the torment any longer, he sought out the kingdom's eldest seer, Nana. The ancient woman listened as Kofi described his visions. She remained silent for a long time, staring into the flames of her sacred fire. Then, with a grave voice, she spoke. The loom was destroyed, but the spirit it imprisoned still remained. She turned her weary eyes to him. They are bound to the cloth Abena wove. If a single piece of it survives, the curse will never end. Kofi's blood ran cold. Had Abena's creations truly vanished? What if the kente she had woven still remained, worn by unsuspecting nobles? So determined to end the curse once and for all, he turned to the palace, calling for all who had ever worn Abena's cloth. Some came forward reluctantly, presenting garments of breathtaking beauty. Others, fearful of losing such treasures, refused. That night, the whispers grew louder. A storm brewed over the Ashanti kingdom, dark clouds thick with menace. The palace guards spoke of shadows moving on their own, of garments that twisted and coiled like living snakes. And then, the screaming began. The first to fall was a noble woman who had refused to give up her golden kente. She awoke to find her robe tightening around her throat like a noose. The fabric had come alive, weaving itself into her flesh, pulling her into the realm of shadows. One by one, the cursed garments sought their wearers, dragging them into the abyss. Kofi knew there was only one way to stop this. With the help of the palace warriors, he gathered all of Abena's remaining clothes and built a massive pyre in the center of the royal courtyard. The fire roared to life, its golden flames licking the night sky. But as the first piece of kente was thrown into the blaze, the wind howled with rage. A scream pierced the air. From the flames, a figure began to take shape, Abena. But this was no longer the woman Kofi had once known. Her once beautiful form was now a hollow shadow, her eyes dark voids of sorrow. Her voice, layered with countless whispers, echoed through the night. "You have freed them," she said, "but who will free me?" Kofi's heart pounded. The spirit had been released, but Abena remained bound to the curse. He stepped forward, gripping the royal dagger at his side. "Tell me how to free you." Her shadowy form trembled. "A weaver's fate is tied to her loom. I was bound by the master before me. The cycle must be broken." Kofi understood. The curse would only end if the last of the loom's magic was destroyed. He turned to Nana, who held in her wrinkled hands the one thing Abena had left behind, a single shared spindle. Without hesitation, Kofi took the spindle and cast it into the fire. The moment it touched the flames, Abena let out her final heart-wrenching cry. The wind roared, the earth trembled, and then silence. The shadows vanished, the whispers ceased, and Abena's form dissolved into nothing, carried away by the night breeze. From that night onward, the Ashanti kingdom never saw another kente as radiant as Abena's. The art of weaving continued, but none dared to seek the power that had once made her clothes so irresistible. The village healed, the spirits rested, and the whispers faded into legend. But some say that on stormy nights, deep in the heart of the forest, one can still hear the faint rhythmic sound of a loom weaving in the dark, waiting for the hands of another weaver to take its cursed threads. Thank you for listening. Stay blessed.